Hello dreamers, welcome to Disney Dreamlight Valley. What if I told you that there is hundreds of hidden photo poses in Disney Dreamlight Valley, and there is an easy way to unlock them and use them in your dream snaps? Sounds interesting? Well then this video is for you. Click the subscribe button so you don't miss more videos like this, and let's jump right into it. Have you ever seen a dream snap like this and wondering, how do I get a pose like this? This is not a generic pose. This is not something that I can just click the button and make my character do. Before we begin, I want to give a huge shout out to Keto. When I was doing research for this video, I stumbled upon her video, and it's a very great video on pretty much the same topic. She showcases a lot of techniques on how to use some of the best hidden poses in the game. For example, this one, made by Keto herself. You might be wondering, how do I do this? Well, let me show you exactly how. I'm gonna link her video in the description. Definitely check it out and give her a sub. She has amazing Disney Dreamlight Valley content. Before we go into the secret poses, let me just give you a little overview of what kind of poses are actually available to our character in Dreamsnap. If we're in the selfie mode, there's only 3 poses. And in my opinion, selfie mode, it can be used in Dreamsnaps, but it's very risky. For outfit challenges, a lot of people don't like selfies. For the furniture challenges, maybe your character is going to cover too much of the screen, drawing away attention from your composition. So unless the selfie is absolutely necessary for your shot for one reason or the other, I would recommend avoiding this camera mode. Plus, the variety of poses is pretty poor. There's only 3. But once we go into the second camera mode, this is where we unlock all of these beautiful poses. And basically you can get a pose with every tool. You can get a pose with every glider, and you can also get a pose with every critter. Every critter, or at least kind of critter, has a unique pose in the game. So just from this, you already have access to probably around 30 different poses that could fit pretty much vast majority of dream snaps. But there is more. There is much more poses that you can achieve in this game, and here is exactly how to do it. So let's begin with the pose that we saw in the beginning of this video from Keto. The long story short, there are transition poses, or you can capture a pose in the middle of the animation, switching between one pose to another. And those middle poses could actually be very different and very unique. Now, the benefits of using transition poses, that's how I'm gonna refer to them, because I feel like that makes the most sense, because there are poses that are achieved by transitioning from one pose to the other. The key is to find point A and point B and then capture the point in between. For example, the pose from that picture is actually, I'm pretty sure, is a raccoon pose. So let's select a raccoon as my critter. The one thing about transition poses is that the critter, as soon as the transition starts, the critter disappears and just goes down to your feet. So he's not going to be the raccoon that is normally is all over your character like this. If you do a transition, is not going to be. So for example, if to recreate exactly the same pose, we're gonna have to zoom in a little bit just so we don't see the raccoon in the bottom, something like this. And now we need to wait for exactly the right moment, and then we switch from raccoon pose to no pose. Now there's more ways you can do this. There is, in my opinion, actually great benefit to switching to poses like this one, or this one, or this one. So these are, in my opinion, 3 main poses that you can switch to, and all of them are gonna have basically unlimited amount of combination of transition poses. So for example, to get the pose in the shot, we can just do the no pose and just do this. Now to replicate it exactly, I need to be standing a little bit at an angle. So once you chose the pose, that is going to be the pose you transition from, then you need to put your hover the button over the pose that you want to transition to. In this case, is a no pose. And then on your controller, or if you play on mouse or keyboard, basically hover your fingers over the buttons that switch the pose. For me, it's an X on PlayStation controller. and the button that takes the picture. For me, it's the settings button. So I'm literally holding my finger on both buttons, and then I have to click them in a very quick succession. As soon as I reach the point in animation that I want to use, I'm basically just going to click first on the pose and then on take picture, almost at the same time. So let's do this. Have to be a little bit faster so the hand doesn't go down as much, because if I want to replicate the pose, it definitely needs to be a little bit higher. Yep, just like that. Looks pretty similar. You can do a pose like this when your hand is all the way to the right. Also, pretty unique pose. It looks very interesting. It looks very inviting. It's completely different from any pose that we actually have in the game. Now, there is actually ways to achieve even more poses. Raccoon pose is one of the most versatile poses, probably used maybe the most out of all the transition poses, just because it has so many different positions that you can transition from. You can have the arms so many different ways. I would recommend experimenting. Transitioning to this pose or this pose can have vastly different results and suit certain poses much more. For example, let's try to transition to arms up. See, instead of the arms going down, the arms gonna start to going up. Now, this is slightly different pose with the arms being slightly pointed up. It could fit certain situations much better. We can try doing the same with arms going behind your body. So once again, well, the arm kind of looks twisted. It might not make sense for this pose, but it could make sense for other poses. Like, this looks pretty good. Alright, so now that we have the basic mechanics of how it works down, let me just show you some of my favorite and some of the most popular transition poses that I see people use in Dreamsnaps. This is how you can give your picture a very unique look. Definitely catch attention with a pose that some people might not have ever seen before. So one of my favorites, and the one that I actually used at one of my recent Dreamsnaps, is the reaching pose. And this is how you do it. This one doesn't even require any critters. All you need to do is go into the second camera mode, or the third one, it works the same way. And then you just need to reach for the tool. It can be literally any tool. It can be shovel, pickaxe. I usually do the shovel. I just click on it and then take the picture as soon as I click on the shovel. So I click the shovel and then I take the picture. And this is what happens. Your character reaches with your hand forward, and right before the shovel appears in their hand, you take the picture. So this way it looks like they're reaching for something. This could be incorporated in so many unique shots. Here is just an example. We got a shot by Lady Deadpool where she is reaching towards the bookshelf. I actually did a bookshelf reaching a shot myself for this challenge on my second account. By the way, her shot is absolutely beautiful. Such an amazing shot. I cannot believe this is indoors. Like, the physics of the shot don't even make sense. It kind of feels like this window is like there is like a corner cut out of the room. It's just such a beautiful work with space. Unbelievable. So here is one example of transition pose. Looks very interesting. Here we got Harvest Celebration by Bea. Also using this one actually uses a monkey. You can see the monkey sitting behind her leg. So the thing is, when you are going to do transition pose with a critter pose, you are going to have a critter spawn near your leg. If it's a ground critter, it's not a big deal. If you zoom in a little bit, or you can always just cover the area where the critter spawns, or just keep him there. Just the fact that the monkey is not on your shoulder is also a huge, it's already hugely different. Here is the example of the monkey pose. It's a beautiful pose. It also looks very distinct and very unique, so I definitely see this one used a lot in Dreamsnaps. Here we got the same pose used by Callan in Dreamsnap Annual Celebration. It just, like, and the way she used it, you can't even see the monkey because of the dress. So most of these poses done with the correct dress is gonna hide basically all the clues of how this pose was achieved. If you just want to hide all the trail, so people are gonna break their brains, how did you do this? This is a good way to do it. Now, this shot by Callan breaks my brain. This one is from the latest Welcome to Toontown. If you're watching, please tell me how you did this. It looks like it's supposed to be like an owl pose, but there is no owl. No, wait, I see the monkey on the bottom. This is also... oh yeah, this is the part when she waves and the monkey is sitting. See, so many possibilities of how you can make a transition pose. If you look at Callan's dream snaps, most of them are done using the transition pose. This is incredible. Now, this one is a very interesting transition pose. This one is probably also one of the most used ones, is the unicorn one. Sorry, Pegasus! Pegasus! Oh my god, I keep calling them unicorns. The beautiful thing about Pegasus is that it also has a very wide range of animation. You can cancel it out in so many spots. You can do like hands together. You can do like this cute pose. Like you can do this. Look at this. This is such a cuteness. In my opinion, transition poses hit the hardest when it's done in the third camera mode with a close-up like this. If you can frame your shot, or you can also do close-ups in second camera mode using a trick like putting Oswald's car or a big rock in front of your character and just doing something like this. And then zooming in and then using the sharp filter. Okay, can you... Why do they have to talk? So do something like this, and then I just cancel it out. Like, look how beautiful this is. In a close-up, making a pose like this, it's pretty incredible. This one is done using Figaro. Figaro can also has a few really cool transition poses. You can do this pose. Well, to be fair, with Figaro, the ones when the critter is on the floor, it doesn't really... You don't need transition pose because you can just take a picture with the cat, because the cat is pretty much going to be in almost the same spot. But if you want to capture the spot when she's holding the Figaro, like this pose like this could be very interesting and unique. Here we got another Figaro pose when she reaches the hands up before grabbing Figaro. Once again, you can pause any animation at any point with just canceling the pose and capturing the first frame. It's such a powerful tool. Now, this iconic shot, but Monsieur Mike with a squirrel pose, just holding a bunch of light. Now, pretty sure the light is created with activating a trail. You just click on any POI on the map and it's going to activate a trail. And if you align your character perfectly with the trail, you can achieve effect like this. It's very powerful. You do this. Oops. Cancel. And you could use an item to cover the squirrel, and you can even use some effects to make it look like you're holding something else. It's an interesting way to experiment. You can capture it in the middle of raising your hands as well to have this interesting effect. I don't know. You can have hundreds of different unique poses using this transition technique. You can play around with it. Transition to no animation, transition to one of these two animations. You can achieve so many different effects. This is so cool. We get shot by Princess Star Butterfly when she's reaching towards the telescope. Kind of looks like she's holding it. That is really cool. We get a shot by Hope Faith, and this one is very, very interesting because this one doesn't actually need any critters. That's why it can be done indoors, even though I'm pretty sure this is an outdoor shot. I think... Okay, I do see you have footstool, so maybe this is using footstool, but I think this can be... A similar pose can be recreated without a critter. I could be mistaken, but I feel like if you just go for like maybe a regular pose, and then you just transition into holding your hands like this. Just need to capture exactly the right moment. And you can even make a different face. You can make an angry face and make yourself look like an angry person holding their sides. Like, let's try this. Something like this. Looks pretty angry. Oh yeah, I guess you can already have this pose with footstool, and you can just hide footstool later. Like imagine how many different poses we can capture like this. Look at this. Just clap, girl. The thing with footstool, you don't even need transition poses. You can just capture part of your animation. You can make yourself look angry. I think you can achieve this. I feel like I can do this without footstool. Maybe some pose that already has your arms raised a little bit. Then capture a transition. Oh, I know which one. I think the rabbit or a turtle would achieve this. Let's try this with the turtle. So if you have a turtle pose, and then you just transition into hands behind your back. Oh yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Look at this. Without footstool, and in my opinion, even a better one, because it kind of looks... It's like a middle of transition. This is so good. I'm saving this. And you can make an angry face. Like, the difference between this pose, this one is like your hand, like your shoulders and arms, so you're like very bent. But if you do this in the middle, for example, with the turtle, you can capture like much more unique pose. Like slightly hands on your hips, not like all the way bent. I feel like this looks very different from the final result. Like, this is the transition pose, this is the final pose. It's like it has different vibe to it. There's a little detail completely changes the vibe. Or you can do something like this when you transition to the arms up. Also is like wide, like this kind of pose, like being angry. Turtles are good for showing anger. By the way, I just wanted to show you the shot by Lindsay. This is one of the most genius shots I've ever seen. I'm even gonna hide myself. Just take this in. We got a tunnel made with Mulan entrances, and then there is a train, which I still like. I'm pretty sure it's the trolley from Tiana. Just lots of flooding it with light, just going into the tunnel, and there is Woody on the floor, and the alarm is panicking, and the character is panicking, and this one is pretty confident is used with a footstool. You just give yourself an angry expression and then capture yourself mid-clap. Yeah, something like this. It's kind of crazy how expressions of your face can completely change the meaning of the animation. You can put angry face in certain animations to completely change their meanings. Here's another angry footstool animation by Canadian Nice. Very cool uses. Basically, I'm assuming it's a car shop. This shot is genius. This one looks like a Pegasus pose. Yeah, this is definitely the canceled Pegasus animation where you're just standing like this, and then you click, and Pegasus disappears, and you're just standing like this. And with this angle, the Pegasus can just be right behind you, and you're not even going to be able to see them. Genius. All right, and the last thing I wanted to talk in this video is the glider poses. Glider poses can also be used to create some cool different poses. For example, look at this Flame G Fairy Fantasies shot. Just basically using the regular glider, just the regular, not even the wings, not even a paid one, to make this cool standing on air animation with some like very unique pose and even some magic. It can definitely fit a lot of shots. There is a lot you can do with the gliders. Let me give you a few examples. Now, first, just the regular glider pose, if it's with the wings, it's already pretty cool. You can make so many different effects. You can create different faces. It's gonna completely change how the animation feels. This is very unique. But then, if you don't go the wing route, you can still get some cool effects. For example, you can have frozen glider. You can have the book glider is really cool. I've seen a few people use it for the bookworm challenge, and just having a book under you in like this in the shot, just standing on a book, and you have some sparkles under your feet. Like, this is cool. This is such a cool shot. And you can do transition pose to the glider, having this awkward jump. I don't know if it's going to be useful for anything, but it's just cool to have an arsenal. Yeah, there's not much transition potential with gliders, but the poses themselves with the gliders could be very interesting for the shots. Like, this kind of looks like I'm running. I don't know, maybe I'll use it for the hiking Dreamsnap. I wanted to, like, all of this started because I wanted to come up with a pose for a hiking Dreamsnap that looks like walking. And actually the closest one I got, and it's purely experimental and it's extremely difficult to achieve, is the Hey Hey. I haven't seen transition poses with Hey Hey. Well, maybe I have, I just haven't recognized them. But I feel like there is some potential here. So it's like when I go from this pose to standing with the arms up, I can kind of get a pose like I'm running, like something like this. I don't know. It's a work in progress. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do for this challenge, but I feel like there is some potential here. Anyway, guys, this is all I got for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it showed you a couple interesting techniques and poses that you can utilize in your dream snaps. In my opinion, this is a great technique, especially considering that a lot of people might not be aware of it, and you can help your shot stand out. In my opinion, the transition poses are the most powerful, have the most powerful impact in the close-up shots, because when the character is too far away, the different poses might not look that different. Like, people may not recognize that you have a unique pose, but when you're close to the camera and showing off a completely unique pose and angle, that's how you capture people's attention. So, like, make yourself a challenge. Try to use one of the transition poses in next Dream Snap and see if it gives you better results. I don't know, it might. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more Dream Snap tips and different techniques to use in your shots, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Oh, nice day we're having, isn't it?
Oh, it's wonderful. Woohoo!
Amazing. Gotta tell you, it is really beautiful here. Hey, nice to see you.
Oh, hello.
Are you seeing this?
Oh.